Scripture, it's a good place to start, so I'm just going to start off of Isaiah 51, verse 12. Sorry that the slides are blurry, guys, but I, even I, am the one who comforts you. So why are you afraid of mere humans, who wither like grass and disappear? Yet you have forgotten the Lord, your Creator, the one who put the stars in the sky. Think about that, guys. God put the stars in the sky. It's pretty awesome. And established the earth. He put it on its axis. Will you remain in constant dread of human oppression? Will you continue to fear the anger of your enemies from morning till night? Soon all you captives will be released. Imprisonment, starvation, and death will not be your fate. For I am the Lord your God, who stirs up the sea, causing its waves to roar. God makes the waves roar. He created that sound. It's pretty awesome. I love listening to that. You guys probably maybe even have noise machines at home next to your bed that have waves.
Big facts.
How is that? God created that sound. My name is the Lord Almighty, and I have put my words in your mouth and hidden you safely within my hand. I set all the stars to space and established the earth. I am the one who says to Israel, you are mine. Every one of you guys are his. You're God's creation. We have a purpose. When I started kind of writing up my testimony, just kind of going over things, he just gave me this verse, and I think it's just, speaks volumes for how awesome he is and how great he is and how forgiving he is and how much grace he has for us. And that it's just a reminder that I'm important and I'm his. So I'm a visual learning guy. I'm a teacher kind of at heart. I love being with students. I love teaching. So I kind of wrote down my life story in a chronological order. I'm going to also put some stuff up here on the whiteboard, so kind of bear with me. But I think the picture that, or at least my hope is that the picture that God has kind of painted through my testimony, maybe can relate with you a little bit. So, first slide. So it's maybe a little dry and boring, but it's going to be amazing at the end. Just talking. There I am, 1978 born. 1980, my mom was sober for the first time. What does that mean? My mom was probably drinking and smoking one. She had. So, there you go. That's what you get. I'm just kidding. But that's part of my story, addiction. 1985, my parents were divorced. 86, my mom remarried husband number one after the divorce was Shep. Through the 80s and 90s, spent a lot of time at the bar with my dad through my youth. Observed a car accident in 1988. I'm just going to write a couple things up here. Ice Cube incident in 1990. My dad got remarried in 90. My grandma Dubois died in 94. So I'm just going to write a couple headers up here. I'm just going to go Dubois, 94. I'm going to go addiction, 1980 to 90s. I also put up their divorce. Boom, 1985, 1998 car accident. All right, next slide, please. Dad divorce, wife number 295. Junior high and high school, I got bullied a lot. If you guys didn't see my last name, Dickey, kind of a hard name to kind of grow up with, but praise God that my son's strong enough that he doesn't have to deal with that, and that he's surrounded by you guys who dismiss that, because that's not who he is, right? But when I was Braden's age, growing up, apparently that was trying to define me. Physical and mental abuse from my stepfather through the 90s, basically from probably when I was about 10, 11 years old all the way through high school. I had a very verbally abusive and physically abusive stepdad with an absent dad that was bringing me to the bar. So no real father figure in my life. Graduated from high school, joined the Army in 1996. In the fall of 96, my mom and Shep got divorced. Boom, divorced again. Deployed to Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Kuwait in 98. 1998, I had a skydiving accident.
parachute didn't open all the way, hit the ground going about 60 miles an hour. Praise God for the opportunity to still have breath. Mom married his third husband in 99, and I was honorably discharged medically from the Army in 1999. Next slide, please. My first wife, Blake, my eldest son, we met in fall of 99. And in 1999, my roommate and battle buddy, our skydiving crew, we all three of us had these tattoos, and he committed suicide in 99. Grandfather in 2000 died. Dubois Jipa. Blake was born in 2000. Amanda and I started the divorce process. I married her, basically started the divorce process in 2001 because by 2003 I got divorced. It was a pretty short marriage, but out of obligation I was just getting into a marriage. And as you can see, I sure grew up modeling, or being modeled, a history of divorce. So by 2003, I got divorced. Started dating my wife Sarah that year as well. In July, my grandpa Dickey died. Dickey Jipa. In 2003, yeah. All right. Divorce finalized, I ended up with about $100,000 in debt. Basically, for the next month after the divorce was finalized, I was basically living in a car trying to figure out at 23 years old what I should be doing. I went to my dad's, and my dad wanted to pretend that he was going to be a dad and father me at 23 when I had a kid and I was adult. That wasn't working too much. Went to my mom, basically just hopped from place to place to try to find a bed. 2004, Brady was born.
Yeah.
Next slide, please.
Great way.
2005, Sarah and I bought our first house on Furnace, peak of the market, so not that it's a huge deal, but at 2005, 2006, as the market was climbing, and then we crashed in 2006. So when we bought a house for $179,000 in 2005, by 2007, that house was worth about $100,000, so we basically lost $70,000. We still have that house as a rental property now, still trying to dig out of that financial debt. Married Sarah, my wife, that you've all seen around here, 2006. Bella, my goose, was born in 2007. Joe Plant, a really good friend of mine, passed away at the age of 24 in 2008. He was a runner, a marathon trainer. We did a lot of that together. And had his ascending aorta rupture. Boom, dead instantly. No onset, no nothing. One of my best friends gone. In 2008, we get a little emotional when my daughter passes out on the ground, has a seizure, stops breathing, and I gotta give my own kid CPR in my kitchen. You guys know her, she's walking around today. God had bigger things in store for her than that moment. 2010, I had an argument with my dad over money. Still the anger, still arguing with my dad for years. And in 2011, we kind of took another leap of faith, into God, rekindling our relationship with Jesus in 2011. And how did I know that moment existed? Because my neighbor in the backyard who was doing water baptisms at a home church came over and said, "Hey, Jody, what's different about you?" And I said, "I don't know, Luis, what are you talking about?" He said, "There's something different about you." And I said, "Well, we stopped hanging out with some of the kids that we used to hang out with. We stopped drinking on the weekend. We stopped smoking weed. We stopped doing all these things. And we started giving our life to Jesus." He's like, "I knew it. I could see it." So in 2011, for the first time, people were actually seeing that I was walking in Jesus' footsteps, walking and following after what he was doing. Evident because my neighbor came over and said something. 2012, boundaries with my mom. I had a little meeting with her about drinking. So that 1998 sober didn't last too long. December 2012, Braxy was born. Water damage in our house that we were $70,000 in debt started and created another $20,000 in recovering from water damage. Next slide, please.
2014, I got a call from my stepdad that my mom was on the floor, unconscious and not responding because she was so drunk that she couldn't move, that she couldn't take care of herself. So me being a nurse and a healthcare provider was the first phone call. But from that 2011 date when I started setting those boundaries with my mom to 2013, 2014, there wasn't too many conversations about it. 2014, we moved up to Wyoming, got our house, the house that we live in right now. In September, I was in a bike accident in 2014. I'm gonna write that down over here too. 2015, lost our baby while Sarah was pregnant. His name was Brody. So he's up with Papa right now. Went to an Outcry tour, Hillsong. I don't know if you guys know that name. Maybe you guys listen to Hillsong. They're kind of legit. But they're partners with something called Compassion International. So I'll put that up over here. 2016, I had knee surgery. I was hitting a part of depression. Just because I accepted Jesus into my life didn't mean the trials weren't still going to come. 2011, you can still see the trials are coming. Okay, how am I handling? Am I handling them different? But in 2016, in January, I was at a pretty low spot. I weighed the most I've ever weighed in my life. I used to be a runner, a marathon runner. I was training with the Army 10-mile team, and now here I am in my mid-30s, just feeling like a bunch of junk. August, Grandpa Dave died in 2016. And then in 2016, Briggsy was born. And then I attended my first Marked Men for Christ ministry phase 1 in October of that year. Next slide, please. In 2017, finally had the opportunity after 37 years to talk with my dad and work through some of the things that I was carrying like my whole life. Anger that I had at him for abandoning me. Anger that I had at him for, bringing me to a bar, not really giving a crap about me. Angry at him for all of these things that probably really all they needed was a conversation between me and my dad to go, let's work through some of this stuff because I need to have a dad. And I need to have a relationship with you. You're important to me. So finally in 2017, I let myself get out of the way and kind of let that happen. March 2017, then Blake, we started our trial with Blake. And then April of that year, all that water damage that was happening in our house that was a rental property ended up in another $20,000 in debt. And then later on that year in October, I got the opportunity to serve at a phase 1 Marked Men Ministries. And then I did it again this February. And then I dug into some Fight Club. My neighbor Luis that came over and said, hey Joey, what's different about you? What's changed about you? I'm noticing these things. See, when we start on the path of chasing after and following God does not mean we're going to not experience trials. We got a phone call that his son, who was 18, Blake used to roll with my eldest son, who's just turned 18 last week, murdered his girlfriend pregnant 6 weeks, or 6 months. Just because we make that step, guys, does not mean that we're not going to go through and experience things. Does not mean that we're going to not have trials. It does not mean that we're not going to have it rough. He says in the Bible a gazillion times, you will have trials. Just keep leaning in. People will see how we react and how we go through those trials is what brings people to Christ. So how does he react to that situation? He ended up hiding in his garage. This kid's wielding a gun, murdered his girlfriend. Crazy. May this year, Bobo was born. And then in June, had a really cool visit with Blake.
next slides are pictures, but we'll just hold on that for a second, okay? Yeah, thanks. So, as you can see, guys, I've had some trials, a lot of trials with death, a lot of loss of important people in my life. That's why their names are up here. People that I've done things with, people that I've experienced things with, people that have influenced me, my grandparents, very influential in my life. So when I go through those losses, I can go, okay, world, I'm just going to get depressed. I'm going to go drink. I'm going to go have sex with whoever I want to. I'm going to try and feel and numb out that pain that I have right now because I've lost. My story is not everybody's story, okay? But just watch how awesome God is through my loss, okay? My first wife's name was Amanda, okay? My grandma, on my mom's side, was one of my best friends growing up. She taught me how to play cards. She would just hang out and chat. She would listen. She was just somebody that I could just really tell anything that I wanted to, and she would listen, and she would be there for me. My grandma's name, believe it or not, is Sarah. So one Sarah goes up to God, and I get replaced with another Sarah that I get to have my whole life with, that I get to have as a partner, do whatever I need to. He blessed me with an amazing wife to go through life with, because he knew how important my grandma Sarah was. He knew that it was important that I would get that back. Okay? My grandpa Dubois, his name was Robert. And in 2000, if you guys didn't notice before, Blake was born. Blake's middle name was Robert. My papa, my grandpa, up in heaven, replaced with my son, Blake Robert. Grandpa Dickey passed away. His middle name was Wright. My son Braden, right back there, is Braden Wright. One in heaven, one here, for me to still have. For me to do again, for me to share all the experiences that I was given from these important people in my life. My grandma that passed away in 2013, it was on New Year's Day. Braxton was born on December 26, 2012. Replaced again. Grandpa Dave, 2016, replaced. Briggs David. When we lost Brody in April, we were 14 weeks along, pregnant. But as you can see, God's been replacing people in my life to take after, to take care of, to share my legacy that he's given me an opportunity to do. And it's been for a long time. 24 years. As far as I can look back and do it. When I was writing up this timeline, it just blew my mind. We got a letter in the mail. When we went to the Outcry tour in 2015, Compassion International was out there. They're an agency that lets you sponsor a child. You guys have heard of this before, right? You can sponsor a child. We're like, I was just feeling that. I'm like, I need to sponsor some child. Sarah, I need to sponsor a child. I don't know why I'm feeling called. I need to sponsor a child right now. I said, okay, we got a car, we got a kid, we filled out all the paperwork, we sent it back. They sent us back a letter a month later, said, your child was already taken. Okay, your child was already taken. All right. 2 months later, we get another paper in the mail from Compassion International that says, here's your new child. Your new child's name is Dionis. Dionis. Brody, his due date was October 17th. Dionis' birthday is October 17th. One in heaven, one for me to be honored and blessed to be able to take care of again. Okay? I can sit and I can just drown out all my sorrows and all my loss and not believe that God is taking care of me. But then I just have to draw a timeline. And I have to go, okay, You've been blessing me for years, God. You've been replacing the people that are up in heaven with you, and I know they're all there because every single one of them was a believer. Every single one of them had a little bit of an opportunity to give me love, give me a little bit of life, and give me a little bit of breath of heaven to say, God is real, this is what he's going to do for you. Every single time. Every time, you guys. That's my story. It's not everybody's story, but I'm just blowing 24 years. He's been doing that for me. I can walk around all day that I want to and say, I don't acknowledge that. I don't believe that, but you cannot make that up. You cannot make up God giving us a child to sponsor financially, to get through school, to maybe go see somebody. I don't know what God has planned for us, but his birthday is the same as Brody's. Now, you can call it a coincidence all you want to, but that's God doing some magical work right there. Not misusing the word magic, because God's not magical, he's not a genie, but God's blessing us with that opportunity right there. Okay? I wrote down some other dates up here, just to kind of use as examples of things, okay? 1998, actually, let's just roll through, a picture is worth 1,000 words. You guys have heard that before, right? Okay? I'm going to use these pictures as 1,000 words, okay? Go ahead with that first picture if you can, please. Right there is my brothers in Christ. My brothers that God has put into my life that I get to be able to share and work through all of this. I can walk through life carrying anger. I can walk through life carrying fear of death. I can walk through fearing loss. I can walk through life being deceitful. I can be a liar. I can do all these things that I want. These brothers up here are the guys that just come into my corner, along with my brother Jeremy that came here today. You guys got to have a Barnabas, okay? Jeremy is my Barnabas. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you guys got to have a group of men or women, and I'm not just saying man, that's why I'm saying men, but women. You need to have women in your life that are going to pick you up. They're going to speak good words into you. And everyone in this room, that's what you guys are doing, okay? Find one, find five, whatever you guys can do, okay? Those are my brothers right there. And that's what happened in 2016 in October when I was in a very, very low place. I lost my child, didn't know he was replaced with Dionis yet. Had another child, had tough trials, had financial problems, had these problems, had Blake. My eldest son, he's going to come hopefully, praise God, someday in here and share his story. It's not my job to do that, but it's my job to acknowledge the great work that God's been doing in his life. Because when I got to go in June, and I think I shared this with you guys a little bit before, June of this year, I walked in, he looked over at one of the guards and said, I need you to go to my room. I didn't know my dad was coming today, even though I've been going every Saturday. I need you to go grab my Bible. And we started doing work. We dug into the Word. Back in March 2017, he said, see you, Dad, you're not good for me. God's not good for you. I'm going to do whatever I want to. June 2018, I need God in my life. I'm acknowledging what God's doing in my life. I know that everything that you've been praying about, Dad, everything that you've been stretching out to me, Dad, everything that you've been trying to teach and instill into me, Dad, is worth it. And God is so important in my life. And I'm super excited for just him to live out that testimony. Next slide, please. That's my dad right there. We were in bib overalls, right, B? Pretty cold. That was in January when we faced the Seattle Seahawks in the playoff game when it was negative 8 million outside. Yeah. Jared was pretty cold, wasn't it, Brian? It was cold. That picture would not be taken if my dad didn't become sober and that I didn't give God the opportunity to pull me back a little bit and go, stop being selfish. Stop letting yourself get in the way with your relationship with your father. I gave you an earthly father. Let's start doing some work. That picture right there is that. We're living it out together. We got to go to that Seahawks game together, build some bonds together. That was kind of one of our first things, kind of rekindling and getting back after it. Next slide, please. There's my Barnabas. There's Jared. Both hairless. What are we doing, dude? That must have been right after hunting season. Everybody needs a chewy too. Anyway, this picture right here, the reason I have this up here is just because Jeremy's so important to me. He's here because I want and I needed somebody to be here that could hold me accountable. Make sure that my story is authentic. So he'll pull me aside if he wants to and go, dude, you were just a little bit falsy there, or you were a little bit this, you were a little bit that. But he's also here's an encouragement to me. He's got 3 kids of his own. He's got a wife, he's got work, he's got a life. But he pulled himself out of that because I was important enough for him. Okay? You guys are all valuable enough that you can find somebody to be your Barnabas to do life with. Okay? Just encourage you guys to do that. Thank you, brother. Next one, please. That was my deer I shot last year. It was a pretty sweet shot, about 300 yards. Just to be honest, I did it blindfolded. Shot 2 miles. It was a really long shot.
360 no scope.
That's right. Thank you for that. This picture right here is possible because of Jeremy. I didn't grow up hunting. I didn't grow up doing any of that stuff. I threw a fishing line out there every once in a while because my grandfather taught me how to, but you guys have heard my story. I didn't have a father instilling these things into me. I didn't have a dad going, hey, let's go throw the ball. Let's go to a football game. Let's go scratch our bellies and burp. Let's go do these guy things that God's given me the ability to do and do them together. But he gave me my Barnabas, and my Barnabas has then introduced me to hunting, and we don't go out there just slaughtering everything we eat. We ate that deer. That was good meat. And I got to do that sitting in the stand with my son. And that's a pretty awesome moment. Next slide, please. There I am. That's this picture is student, so I'm a nurse, you guys know. I'm a peri-anesthesia nurse, but this was taken outside of the PICU. So sometimes when God gives you gifts to use, right? He'll give you little things in your life to just kind of nudge you towards that field. Okay? In 1988, I saw a car accident. I was 12 years old. We were going through Colorado Springs, and a car went end over end over end over end at least 6 to 8 times, and the passenger flew out of the car about 60 feet away from the car. We were the first on the scene, and I got to observe this. And my dad pulled over with another semi-driver. They got out and helped the couple, and basically the driver was dying on the scene, and the passenger was pretty messed up. And I looked out the back window, and God just gave me just this little, I want to go help that person. I didn't know what it meant in 1988, but I do know right now, in 2018, it meant that I needed to be in the medical field. God's given me the opportunity to help people, to serve people. It's a service industry. He's given me the gifts and tools to do those things. I went into the Army, I got into the restaurant business. I graduated from nursing school at 30 years old. It's never too late to start identifying what God's gifts have given you and what you have and what ability you have to do things. But it just took me kind of just keep driving, keep doing these things. First little seed was back in 1988. Next slide, please. There we are. That's my crazy fam, my crazy kids. And as you can see, that's little Briggs. That baby is Briggs. You guys know Briggs is going to be 2 years old. Okay? The reason why this picture is significant because this is the last family picture we had of Blake. Briggs is going to be 2. Briggs was about 10 days old there. So it's been a long time since we've had Blake into our life. But God's been doing work in his life. He's been doing work in my life and building that relationship so him and I, as a father-son, can have that relationship that I didn't have. That I do now with my dad, 38 years later. Because I opened up my eyes and I was like, okay, God, you give me this. Let's do this. All right, next slide. And then that's us with the Bobo. So obviously difference in the 2 pictures. Blake's in one, Blake's not in the other. Well, he's been in jail for about a year, so wasn't able to make this picture. But God's continued to bless us. Replacements. Not true replacements, but just reminders, gifts to me, gifts of another human being to instill in the things that these important people did into my life. Okay? The world set this whole thing up wanting me to be a loser. Wanted me to be 140 pounds, 6'5",
skinny, scrawny, little wimpy dude that didn't amount to really anything and got depressed and hung out in the corner and didn't really do anything. But God had better plans. Okay? God came back. God's been the center of mine and Sarah's relationship ever since the get-go. Ever since day one. That is the difference in every relationship that I've ever been in. Physically, emotionally. When God is at the center of your relationship, it is a key cornerstone that you guys cannot miss. And I just want to pray that over you guys, that when you guys get into relationships, call on God. Make sure He's talking to you about what's the right relationship. Make sure that your significant other, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, that they're a believer. Don't marry somebody to change them. You're not going to do that. I tried that my first time around. That didn't work too well. But I also married a non-believer, and I was running, and I was far away from Christ. Okay? Other things that God's done, I put up a couple other things here. You guys kind of heard about my mom and about the addiction and about alcohol and how that's kind of just been a consuming deal over my family, over me. Kind of a haunting thing, a generational curse, people call it. Believe in that, that stuff's for real. You gotta pray that out of your house as soon as you can. Okay? In 1998, I didn't even write it up here, but when my stepdad, Shep, attempted to commit suicide after him and my mom broke up, and then my mom went on to marry her third husband, who she's still married to now. Praise God. They were still drinking. I got the phone call. Your mom's drunk on the floor. You gotta come take care of her. Okay. Mom, you gotta get taken care of. I'm not going anywhere. You gotta go through detox. Okay. Went through detox. Went right back to the bottle. A couple days later after she got out of detox. Probably the day that she got out. I don't know that. But September 2014, I was riding my bike to the bus stop, going down Kettle River Boulevard at about 5:30 in the morning. And out of the blue, I'm wearing my vest. Boom, another biker. No idea where this other biker came from. I hit him, had on at about 22 miles an hour. I ended up in a C-collar. I ended up slashing my leg with the bike pedal. My bike was pretty messed up. I was a stubborn dude, and I still am kind of stubborn, so I got on my crickety bike, and I crickety-cricketed it all the way over to the Holiday gas station. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even move. I gotta call Sarah. Sarah, come and get me. She came and got me. I ended up having a concussion and all this other stuff. Went to the ER, got some stitches. I got home. 2 days later, I get a call from my aunt. We're going to do an intervention on your mom. At that time when I got that phone call, if I wouldn't have got injured and had to be out of work, I would have been on call all weekend. I would have been working all weekend. I would have been doing everything for myself, trying to just drown out that reality that my mom was kind of pissing her life away, excuse my French, but that's kind of what was happening. And she didn't care about anybody at that point. That's what I thought. So we went out there, whole group, met with an interventionist, went out to my mom, met with her and my stepdad. Another drunk's got another drunk. Once again, you don't try and change your partner. They were doing it together, happy together. Interventionist took her out to Hazleton. She got in the car willingly after all of us kind of poured our heart to her. She went up to Hazleton. She was there for a couple weeks, went up to the retreat, a couple weeks there, got out all that stuff, basically locked herself in the house for about a month and a half, and she's been sober ever since. Also got saved by Jesus. And my stepdad, if you had ever asked me 5 years ago if there was anybody that I never thought that God could save, I would put his name right on that ballot. Those two are more involved and serve the Lord more than I've seen any two people, and they do it all the time. And it just blows my mind. So I never have a doubt anymore that God can change anybody's heart. So find that person. I know that when you guys go to retreats, they say, find that person. Start praying about him now. Pray about him every day. He's 70-something years old and found Jesus. It's awesome. God's got amazing things planned for you guys. So, kind of wrapping it up, this is my story, guys. This isn't anybody else's story. You know, Blake used to always say that to me. Dad, when you did all this stuff, you went and had sex before marriage. You went and had drugs. You went and did this. That's my story. Let God intervene on my life. You know, the way he's going to do it in my life. Don't make that your story. So I just want to encourage you. I know I just want to call to let you guys know. Make your story, not my story, not your mom's story, not your dad's story. Find Jesus yourself. Make sure you have a relationship with him. He's not your mom and dad's Jesus. Yeah, he is. But he also needs to be your Jesus. So make sure that that's important. And then let you know, like I said, I have a Barnabas. I kind of have like 2 or 3 Barnabases, but they're really important to me. You guys gotta find a Barnabas. Who wrote the majority of the New Testament, guys?
The Apostle Paul.
The Apostle Paul, right? The Apostle Paul wrote the majority of the New Testament, okay? The Apostle Paul and who basically did life together? Barnabas. Held each other accountable. Who was this fall guy? Barnabas. Who else did they minister? They ministered to a Timothy. Timothy was the preacher in training. Make sure as you guys grow up, mentor to the little kids. You guys have such an important role here at Maranatha, or whatever church you guys are at. Minister to the little kids. Get into their life, love on them. That's what God's given me the ability to do here. I don't do it perfect. I'm sure you guys are like, I'm just not perfect. I don't know what he's doing. I'm trying to live what God's given me the opportunity to do and give back. Serve Him. Be here. Be here with you guys. You guys are my Timothys. Praise God for that. And then find a Paul. Find a leader. Find a mentor. Women find a woman. Men find a man. It's important. Find somebody to look up to. Not just your mom and dad. You want to have an adult figure speak into your life. Kind of walk alongside of you. Do all these things. Super important, guys. And I guess my closing remark is the song that I asked Matt to play, and it was already queued up, so God has pretty funny plans. He was already planning on playing the song anyways, but this is a song that's so important to me. Just a great reminder. It may be overplayed for you guys, but it's not. Just trust me. But in Luke 15, you guys know the story of the prodigal son. You guys know that story. I was running, and I came back. My son Blake was running, but he's coming back. He's my prodigal. I will embrace him like nobody's business when he gets out of jail the first time. I do it every Saturday when I go see him, give him a big hug. Because God's got better things in store than just wiping our life away, running away from Him. And you guys will recognize this song right away. But His love, you guys know His love is so reckless. He will chase you down like nobody's business. He will leave every other person just for you. You guys are that important. So find a Barnabas, find a Paul, find a Timothy, mentor. You guys are important to the youth. Okay? In addition to that, find stuff that you can develop your relationship with Jesus. Okay? I'm having the song up here right now because that's how I just connect. If I'm running from God and having a bad day, I need to just pop on some worship music, raise my hands and shut my eyes, and He's going to fill me and let that Holy Spirit come back in. Okay? Read the Bible. That's why I brought my Bible up here too. Read directly from the Bible.
Good.
These phones are cool, but this is not paper. Turning a page, for me, is so much more impactful than turning a flip of a finger through that phone.
Big facts.
And then find some literature, find something that you can connect with. Right now I'm reading this book called Fathered by God. That sounds pretty important to me. Especially coming from a history that I didn't have the greatest earthly dads. But I know my papa, my daddy, loves me so much. And he loves you guys so much. So thank you so much for listening to my testimony, my story. I'm open to just listen to you guys, love on you guys, pray over you guys, whatever you guys want. I hope that I'm open and transparently. I'm not perfect. I might come in here angry someday, and I'm sorry. I'm going to just go take it out to that piece of wood on that tree and go kneel down before it and clear myself of it so I can give you guys the best, because that's the opportunity that God's given me to do. And with my kids, it's pretty awesome seeing my kid up here on stage using his gifts. It's pretty awesome being on the sideline for him, being on the sideline for my dog. I got 6 kids. It's pretty awesome. God's given me that. So I acknowledge Him for that. So Father God, just thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for just blessing me like I cannot even imagine. Thank you for just coming into my life, pulling me away, coming and chasing after me recklessly, leaving everybody else behind because I was important. Thank you, God, for that. Thank you for your pursuit. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the constant reminder that I am important.
And my story is not all of my history, but that's who I am. But my story is different than what the earth thinks that I am. My story is your story. You wrote it before I was even born. And may I just be disciplined enough, God, to follow it. Thank you, Father God, for Frontline Youth. Thank you for these kids, young adults. Just thank you for their passion and love for you. And just keep putting seeds into them. Keep filling their gifts, Lord Jesus. You're so awesome. Thank you, Papa. Amen.
Good job, Joel.